Yo, I'm live. What's going on, everybody? I said I would go live today at 2:30 Mountain Standard Time to show you guys how I just got a creative financing deal, filled out the paperwork, and analyze the deal. Now, I'm going to break this down as best as I can, quickly as I can, because I know nobody, has time or attention span to just have me yap all, for 10 minutes on nothing. Or so anyway, let some people come in. I told some people we would be doing this today, so let's see how many people jump in. And obviously, if no one jumps in, I'll still do it, and they can watch it later. But let me make sure I'm live. Let's see. Can you guys comment if you can hear me, if the audio is good? I want to make sure I don't do this whole video and then it's doesn't okay, doesn't sound okay. I actually just pulled up my phone and it sounds like I can hear myself. So let's see. Okay, I actually just pulled up my phone. All right. So let's get into it, everybody. So why am I coming on this call today? We just got a deal, creative financing deal that was not a deal, not even close to being a deal if it was the traditional wholesale route. And I'll show you how I analyzed it, why it was. Okay, great. Thank you. I got someone that says, I can hear you. I can't see who you are because I'm doing this in StreamYard and you got to like sign in order to be seen. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So guys, again, I got a creative financing deal. A lot of people are scared to do creative financing deals subject to, contract for deed, whatever, land contracts. The reason why people are a little scared to do it, they don't know how to do the paperwork. Look, I'm not perfect at it. I'm not even an expert at it. I've talked to a lot of people that are so-called experts, and every scenario is different and there's opinions on everything. So I will show you how I analyze the deal and why it was not a deal. According to numbers, everything is based on numbers, right? In this business, you just don't lock up something because you feel, you think it's a good deal. You can analyze it, you calculate, you have, and that's why I teach you guys. So I will show you how I analyze the deal and how I structured it. It's a funky deal, but properties are hard to come across right now in Salt Lake City, Utah, and so I structured it. I got it done. So let me share my screen and we'll go right into it, everybody. So can everybody see my screen? Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is show you guys what the seller wanted originally, what they were wanting for the property. So this is the flip calculator. This is a calculator that all flippers use to analyze whether they should do a deal or not. Okay. So you need to learn how to master this so you know whether you should flip it, whether you got a wholesale deal, whether you should burr it, or you got to master the numbers. Okay. So I made this guy an offer about 6 months ago. I made him an offer, and let's actually go and look at it. Let's, I'm going to take you through the whole breakdown. Let me duplicate this tab. So this guy's name was Chris, and let's see. And I made him an offer about 6 months ago. If he pops up in here, he should. Made him an offer about 6 months ago, and he denied it. So, I said, hey, that's okay. If you don't like my offer, I'm going to make you an offer anyway. I'm going to send you a letter of intent and reach out to me if anything changes. So he reached out to me like 6 months later through our automated follow-up in Salesforce. You need drips, guys, because this is important. The guy reached back out to me from a drip campaign, an email drip campaign in our CRM. And let's see if this was the original feed. Okay, so I made him an offer, and let's see. We'll just go through the whole thing. I'm going to show you guys how we got the deal. I called you from my cell phone. Call me back when you get a chance. That's April 6th. That was recently. So where is okay, March 31st. Right here. Great news. I'm still looking to buy a few more properties in the area. Are you still interested in a cash offer? This was from an automatic drip, March 31st, and I put him in the drip like at the beginning of the year. I don't have that email, but it's probably somewhere buried in all my emails. So he responds, hey, Nathan, we are interested in selling. We have added 2 fireplaces, but the place could use some flooring. So that's what happened. I got him from a drip campaign. that got him. So then I got him on the phone, and I talked to him. I said, I made you an offer a while ago. I think it was for 515 6 months ago. Is that what are you still okay with that offer? And he said, no, I want 575. And I was like, 575? Well, let's look at this property. So I went over here and I looked at the address. I quickly Zillowed it. 583 is what Zillow estimates the property. So I said 575. That's way too close. But in non-disclosure states, you can't. Utah's a non-disclosure state, so you cannot go off the Zillow estimate. You need to be able to comp it with the MLS if you have access to that, or you need to, use other resources. I talked to the seller. You can actually make his house a 5.3. He has unfinished basement. And so this thing can be jacked up to about 605, 610. There are homes in the area selling like his. Here are some comps: 610, 635. These ones that are 500, the date range is back further. So there are ones that are selling 675, 640, 650. Let's see. So look at this one, guys. 650 active. That doesn't mean it's going to sell for 650, but it's a decent comp if it does. 4 bedrooms, 3 baths. Ours, 2,310 square feet. Ours is where's the square footage? Right here. About the same house, but we're going to add a bedroom and a bath to it. So 650. So he asked me originally for 575. And at that time, I was like, no, man, this thing is probably worth, let's be on the safe side. I'm not going to go and base my comps off of the best. I'm going to go off of, the median range, like 595, maybe I think I saw 610. Let's see, 588. So I was basing them off of other comps. So I said, hey, look, the best I think your house like realistically could sell for, sir, is 605, 610. So if I buy this thing at 575, I think Sean's in here. Okay, anyway, it's 575, and I put $25,000 into it, I'm going to lose $35,000 on this flip. Okay. If I borrow hard money, pay 2 points, 12%, it takes me 4 months to flip the house, 5 months, let's just say 5, and I pay 6% in real estate commissions and 2% in closing costs. Okay, I didn't have the commissions in there. I'm going to lose a lot of money, right? By the way, our commissions don't cost that much because we can do it for like 2.5% to the buyer's agent, and ours is like we have someone that will list it for like 0.5. It's very cheap. But anyway, I show that to him. I said, hey, this is not even close to being a deal at 575. So I tell him that, and he's like, yeah, okay, well, what's your offer? And I said, look, like for what you're wanting, for the price that you're wanting, I can't even come close to 575. And, because I even explained to him, I said, I have to get hard money. I have to, I have to pay for the money I use. If you're able to finance me, maybe if you could finance my flip, maybe I would be able to pay a little bit more. And by finance my flip is, instead of me getting a hard money loan, you finance me subject to, he's got a mortgage in place. Instead of me getting a hard money loan, you finance the deal. So he was like, okay, what does that look like? So I said, well, this deal actually got kind of deep because he wanted to stay in the property for about a month after we close, and he's a contractor and he needed the money to fix it up. So he said, yo, look, I will fix up this house. I will finance you. I will finance the flip. Just give me $20,000 down. I will put it towards the property. I'll fix it up, and just give me that higher price. So I said to him, look, even with you financing it, if I got this thing at 520 and I got a hard money loan, I would still lose money. And he's like, okay, so what do you do? I said, finance me where I just have to put 20 down. So instead of, what would 20 down be? Would it be 5%? Okay, it'd be like 4.5. Let's see. It's pretty close. So I just have to put 20 down. Don't charge me any interest, and obviously I'm not going to pay him any points. And because I can get an agent to list this, if I buy this house, I can get an agent to list it for 0.5, and then I can pay the buyer's commission for bringing it once I list it, 2.5. Sorry, 2%. Let's see. And it probably will take me, since he's going to fix it up and we won't have to do that part. The flip will probably take, we'll probably just have to list it and hold on to it for about 3 months. So, and by the way, because I gave him 20 down and we didn't have to, we're not going to have to fix it up because he's going to use that money to fix it up. Our rehab is going to be zero, potentially, right? But if he moves out of the house and he just wastes everybody's do anything to the house, like that's a risk, right? Like we gave him 20, he didn't use any money to fix up. We'll still have to put in 20,000, right? To the house. So that's a $37,000 deal. In my opinion, worst case scenario. If we give him the money down, he doesn't use any of the money to fix the house. He's still financing it for us. So we're not having to pay any hard money costs or any points because he's living in it and he's paying the mortgage. And, we might have to pay some repairs after he moves out. But I believe in the contract, I'll show you, he agreed that he was going to do repairs to the house. So if everything works out, in my opinion, we'll put zero into it. We already gave him the 20 down. And we got it for 520. And I think the house could go for 630, 635. I mean, if you look at the comps of sold in the area, it's potentially could go for, 675, 650. If he, I think he'll do a good job too. So anyway, guys, the purpose of me breaking these numbers down for you is you have to play out these scenarios before you make an offer on a property. And luckily, he was able, because we worked out a deal, he was able to, work with us where he financed us. We don't have to get a hard money loan and we don't have to make payments on the property because he's staying in there until, he fixes it out. Now, another deal we made with him is, okay, we'll give you 20 down and then you're going to fix it up for about a month. Once you move out, I'll give you another 50 to move out. Once you're moved out, I'll give you 50 down. So that's 70 down off of the purchase price. So 520 is what we're buying it for, but because we're getting him 20 down, so he's at 550, he's owed 450. When we close on the property, he's going to be paid out whatever left he's owed, not 520, but since we've given him money up front, he's going to be get 450, and then the mortgage is going to get paid off. So this deal came from being a $0 deal. We're going to make zero because we're going to have to get hard money on it at 12%, 2 points. Look at the cost of how much hard money is. It's the cost of money is $24,000. And, worst case scenario, like if this thing sells for 610 and we get hard money, it's still not terrible. But I mean, that's $32,000. It was still a deal. It's 520. You would have done that. 575, it was not a deal, right? Because then we go in the red. So 520, was it a deal to just buy this thing with hard money and get it done? For us, yes. Look what happens when I do seller finance. I get rid of the interest. I get rid of the 2 points. It saves me. I make an additional 23. This thing, if I sell it and it goes up to what I'm thinking it will, we're talking, a $76,000 deal. But let me bring it back one more time. What is the difference and why is it nice for someone to sell or finance? It's the cost of the money when you're flipping it. 2 points, 12% on 5 months. A 5-month flip is the cost of your money is $34,762. That's a lot of money that you're going to be spending when you can just ask the seller and say, hey, seller, I'm going to go and get a hard money loan. This is how I do it. I can pay you a little bit more on this property if you finance my flip, or if you sell or, subject to whatever you want to call it. Just make it simple to them. Another Jordy Clark also told me he calls it an installment payment. It's like, hey, I can pay you more if you just, if I can give you a little bit up front, or not even say anything up front. You just say, hey, I can get you your money instead of all up at front, I can pay you out, after the flip is done. And obviously the sellers are going to have concerns and everything about it. But, if you let them know that you're credible and you know what you're doing, we've had many sellers just say, oh, I don't need the money right now. If you can get me an extra 5K, I'll finance your flip. And then this is where you can play with it. We agreed where we would pay him no points and no interest, and he would cover the payments on his house. What they'll want to do sometimes is like, hey, if you can pay me 4%, what 4%? There you go. Is that right? Yeah. So sometimes they'll be like, yeah, if you could pay me the market interest rate or whatever, I'll do it. So I mean, that makes more sense than doing 12% because look, it's $5,000 if you get a hard money. But if you negotiate with them and say, hey, I'm going to pay a hard money lender this interest, why don't I pay you 4%? That means for as long as you finance my flip, you're going to make 1655. So you're having a rental without having to manage tenants or anything. You're making good money. If their mortgage is $900 and you're like, hey, I'll pay you 4%, so you're going to be cash flowing, the difference. A lot of sellers go for that too. So that's the deal. How does the seller finance the flip? Okay, that's a question I will try to explain again. It can get confusing, and this takes years, I would say months or years of practicing. But how does the seller finance the flip? This seller had a mortgage on the property of $240,000. That's what he owed. Okay. So I can buy the property subject to where the mortgage stays in place, and I don't actually have to close on the house and buy it all the way out. I can buy it subject to his existing financing, and through the paperwork I'm going to show you, where I can just take over his payments, or he can keep the payments and the financing will stay in place. So again, usually as cash buyers, you think you have to go buy a house all for cash and close on it, like all the way, and cash them out completely. In this deal, what I did is I said, hey, look, let's keep the mortgage in your name. Like, let's keep the mortgage in place, the existing financing. I will give you $20,000 down, and I will pay you out as soon as the house is flipped. I'll pay you out the rest. And that's how that's how the seller was able to finance my flip. And guys, by the way, look, I mean, I'm talking about it, I'm explaining it. I'm no genius. Okay. I'm about to make $80,000 on this deal, and I'm not a guru. I'm not some Pace Morby seller finance savant. You don't need to be. You know why? Because I fill out the paperwork and I send it to my title company, and I said, hey, title company, am I squared away? Am I all buttoned up? And she said, yeah, we'll take care of it. So you can leverage other people that, like, if you don't feel 100% confident in it. So let's see. This one says, so you create a finance for a short term and transfer title and then list it to make a profit. Wow, this is genius. Thank you. Thank you for the support on that. We've done this many times. So a lot of people think when you do creative finance, you have to do it for years and 10 years or 20 years for it to make sense. We do it for the flip. Sometimes we do multiple for multiple months or years, but we do it for the flip, where we say, again, hey, seller, I even call sellers and I show them this on a Zoom call. I'll say, hey, seller, I'm going to pay out 12%. I don't even tell them the percent, right? I just say, I'm going to pay out a certain amount of interest to a hard money lender. That's how we buy homes for cash. No secret. Instead of paying that interest to someone else, how about I pay you so you can make, and I wouldn't tell them it's 12%. I would tell them it's like, you could even, instead of telling them interest, you could say, seller, what would it make sense for you to, to finance this flip? How much money do you need? The guy would be like, $1,500. Say, okay, deal. $1,500. You run the math. That's like about 3.5% interest that you're paying. Way cheaper than hard money. And most of these people, they never ask for points, ever. I've never had anyone that's done this ask for points. So this is the pitch. Hey, Mr. Seller, what you're asking for on the house, it's a little bit more than we're able to pay when we pay cash. But I can come closer to your number if you finance our flip. Would you be able to, do you need the money immediately at close? Or if I can give you more money, would you be able to finance our flip and, us pay you out a little bit up front and a little, the rest once the house, once it sells, once we've flipped it? The seller could say, I don't need all the cash. This is a rental I have. I don't need all the money up front. If you can pay me a little bit more, that'd be great. And I say, I even have a bonus for you. I can pay you interest. I can pay you some interest on the property as well. So I'm going to give you a higher asking price and I'll pay you a little bit of interest. So the seller would say, well, what are we talking? And you say, how much money would it be worth it for you? What are you thinking, Mr. Seller? How much would you like to get every month? Give me $1,000 a month. And then you run the numbers like, wow, that's pretty good. That's a good deal. Say, okay, let's do it. Let's write it up. So then you write up the paperwork. Now I have all the paperwork to do, subject to all that stuff. I teach it in my course, but this one, the seller was like, dude, I need to go quick. And I didn't want to sit down and go through all the paperwork. So what I did is I wrote up an addendum to the contract, really easy, really quick. And I sent it to my title company. They prepared all the documents. If you have a bomb title company, they will prepare all the documents for you if you trust them. We needed this on an urgent thing. I talked to the guy, he wanted to close like the next day. So this is how we did it. Okay. And I hope this is all making sense. And if it's not, you just need to watch this over and over again and talk to me and join my mastermind and I'll train you. But let's go over this deal. So this is what it looked like. All it took was a purchase agreement and an addendum to get this deal done. Okay. Forget all the fancy paperwork. All it is a purchase agreement and an addendum. And this is all we needed to get done. So the purchase agreement, very just standard, just like anybody else's purchase agreement. We put the purchase price and then we put the terms. Okay. 20 down applied towards the purchase price to be used for repairs. And the guy said, hey, I'll use this money for repairs. I say, okay. So that means while he's using this money for repairs, then we don't have to worry about it being repaired. Now, again, if he moves out and hasn't done any of the repairs, that's a risk I was willing to take because, again, the numbers make sense. If he's financing it, 0 points. The money's gone. I think the flip will take 3 months. Let's say it sells for 620. And we got it at 520. And we still got to put, he moves out. He hasn't done it, lifted a finger, $46,000. Totally worth it for me. Of course. So let's go back to here, guys. So the seller said, hey, look, I'm looking to buy a property once I move out. Once I move out, can you give me some additional money so I can buy something else? I said, look, if it's money down, to me, it doesn't matter. I'm like, it's going towards the purchase price. It's totally fine. So I'm giving him 50 down once he vacates the property. I have a HELOC. I have enough money to give him 20 down. Once he moves out, 50. And there's stipulations too. Like if he doesn't do anything I said, I can renegotiate. I can say, hey man, like you didn't repair it like we agreed on. Let's talk about this. Now, the cool thing about buying this on a subject to is house right now. Yes, he stays in there, but I own it. So I'm signing a lease agreement. So if he doesn't get out, I can evict him. Okay. And I told him this. I'm very transparent with sellers. I said, hey, listen, Mr. Seller, like, this can get tricky. If you don't move out like we're agreed on, I will, I have the rights and I will evict you because my money is tied up in this property. He said, that's fine. Yeah, I'll get out of there. So the property must be vacated before the seller receives $50K. So those are the terms. We couldn't fit the rest of the terms in here. So we wrote up an addendum. Okay. Very simple addendum. The addendum references the agreement. And this is what else we wrote. Seller will lease the property back from the buyer at the current mortgage rate. So he's leasing back the property from me for the mortgage rate. And I told him, all you got to do is take that, the payments that you're leasing it back from me and make the mortgage payment. He's okay with that until the end of May this month, or until they vacate the property and give the buyer notice of vacating the property. And by the way, at the title company, we had them sign a little bit more documents. This is just to get the ball rolling and to open up title and get everything ready. When the buyer resells the property, I also, guys, I didn't tell you this, but I wanted to help the seller out for doing this. So I said, hey, anything above 615, let's split 50-50. I did that, and you can do things like that. I wanted to help the seller. He was willing to finance the deal, and I wanted to, help him out. So I said, anything above 615, sir, we'll split. How's that sound for you? He said, yeah, that's awesome. And the reason I did that, because I wanted to motivate him to do the rehab and do a really good job, because he's going to be doing carpet, paint in the basement, adding a bathroom, and just finishing up some little details. So I wanted to motivate him to really put some work in, because that's free labor for me. I gave him 20 down. He's just using the money to fix it up. So I said, anything above 615, we will split. buyer, and he's moving out at the end of May, but he said, I'll give you till the end of August. I'll give you an extra 3 months after I move out to sell this thing if it takes a little bit. So I got until August 31st to sell the property, or I need to refinance out of it or buy it with hard money. And by the way, when that time comes, if there's something funky, you can always call and just say, hey, things have happened in the market. Can we talk about this? It says refinance the property and pay off the remaining balloon of $450,000. Buyer will cover mortgage payments once the seller. So I did agree to cover the mortgage payments once he moved out because he's not living in there. So what does that look like? The mortgage payment is 12. So let's say he's fixed it up and I got to cover the mortgage payment for 2 months. So big deal, right? I'm covering the mortgage. I'm just putting that into costs. Still a good deal. And then 630, let's say that's what it goes for. And I have to remember this is my profit, but I would split anything above 15. So both of us would get 7.5. So let me add additional 7,500 to this. So that'd be 9,900 costs. Cool. $66,000 on a deal that was not actually a deal, or that good of a deal with hard money. Again, let's look at it. 12%, 2 points. Okay. So it's again the cost. It saves me $24,000 to have him finance it. I got some questions coming in. Wouldn't it be cheaper for you to fix the property with the guy with your guys versus who he uses? So he is doing the work himself. He's a contractor. He ran out of money, so I'm not even having to pay him any money. To do the repairs. In the agreement that we have with him, I said I will give you 20 up front. I was originally not going to give him any money down. But he's like, hey, man, I'll fix this house up because I'm wanting to get it above 615. Just give me 20 down. So because I gave him 20 down, it came off the purchase price of 520. So it didn't cost me any money. When you're looking at purchase, it didn't cost me an extra $20,000. It's really his money, but he wanted to fix it up because he was in the middle of a couple different things and he wanted to do the repairs himself. He's like one of those guys who's like, hey, like I want to finish jobs I didn't finish. So guys, I'm going to wrap it up, but I'm glad you asked that question. Anyone else can ask me questions if they want. So originally the deal, when I talked to him, I looked at it. I thought, look, let's be safe. I think this house is worth 610 in its current condition, and the guy's asking 75,000. If I sold this to wholesale this to a flipper, it's not a deal. So I said, it's not a deal, sir. You want me this to make a deal? You can finance me. But if you gave it to me at 520, I could possibly make it work. $32,000 spread. If I were to flip it, if I wanted to wholesale it, that's what a flipper would be looking to make. So if I want to make a fee, maybe I could have wholesaled it to someone for 530 and made 10K. But we're taking down more properties because, guys, honestly, if you wholesale and that's all you do, you're wasting money. The market right now, I don't care if it could go up, it could go down, but right now there's a housing shortage in Utah. I do believe it's good to get into property. So that's what we've been doing. You don't have to do that. It's up to you. But I can teach you how to get hard money, how to get private money, how to flip houses. It's not that hard to get money. So that's what I was potentially looking at making if I did hard money. I said, listen, sir, can you finance me for the flip? And he was like, yeah. So that's what that ended up doing. That ended up saving me $24,000 on hard money costs. And so 57, but I believe, again, like I said, I think it will go up 630 plus. So again, not a deal at the beginning, was a smaller deal at at a wholesale price, but I wanted to squeeze every penny out of this because I'm trying to make as much money as I can. And if you're open and honest with sellers and explain to them how you can help them and how they can benefit you and how you can, work together, they will help you. That's what I've seen, especially if it's not their this guy's primary residence, but he's cool about it. If this is a investment property or rental, most of the time they will finance your flip because they want to make extra more money, on the purchase price, or they want interest, which, you work out how much interest you're willing to pay them. But I guarantee you, they'll never ask for 12%, and they'll never ask for points. So I hope that was helpful, guys. I want to let you guys know that you don't have to be a genius at like paperwork and contracts and law. Again, I filled out the paperwork on an addendum and a regular real estate purchase agreement, sent it to my title company, and they got the right paperwork needed to record and make sure that we're all squared away, because they want us, they want to protect us. We do a lot of business with them. They want to help us out. Thanks. Shout out to Christina GT Title. So any questions? I see there's 10 people watching. I don't know, if you came in late, but does anyone have any questions I can answer on how we get sellers to do creative financing, how we have them finance us for our flips on a short term? How did I negotiate from 575 to 520? So I told the seller, I said, realistically, Mr. Seller, your house in the condition it's in right now, at I think it could go for 610. Okay, so I'm role playing with you, just follow along. Mr. Seller, I think your house could sell for 610. I think it could sell for 610 fixed up. Okay. He says, okay, we agree on that. I say, in its current condition, since you still need to do the bathroom, since you still need to do carpet paint and get it ready, I think as is, it could sell for 575. Would you agree with me, Mr. Seller? He said, okay, I agree with you. I think, yeah, if I sold this thing as is for 575, yeah, I could sell it on the MLS as is for 575. And I said to him, now, if you sold this thing as is on the MLS, I'm pulling up my calculator to make it easy. You would have to pay closing costs, most likely, and 6% commission for 3% to list it, 3% to the buyer's agent. You don't have the connections I do to agents that will do it for less. You're probably gonna have to pay around 6%. He said yes. So I said 575 as is, and we're gonna have 6% and 2% for closing costs, or 1%. I'm just gonna do 2%. So then you multiply by 0.92. I say, if you sold this thing on the MLS, your take home, your walk away, sir, would be 529. That's what it would be. You don't actually get 575. You have commissions and fees to pay. So you would get 529 after listing it, after having people walk in your house and bother you and do all this. I'm offering you 520 and all you have to do is finance my flip, and you don't have to worry about, listing it and all that stuff. I'll take care of all that. You don't have to worry about it. So he said, okay, so 529 is probably what I'll take home, and you're willing to give that to me right now, and you'll give me some money so I can fix it up and have the potential to split anything above 615 like we agreed. I said, yeah, your potential to make more, your potential to make more money there, and there's ease and convenience and speed, and we'll take care of everything for you. So he said, okay, let's do it. So that's how I did it. To answer your question, I worked the numbers back. I said 610 is what you listed for, fixed up. 575 is probably what it could go for as is. Sell that as is on the MLS. You're gonna get 529. Take my 520, and we'll call it good. He said, okay. Did that answer your question? Whoever asked it, I can't see who's asking these questions again because I'm on StreamYard and it's not letting me see, but that's how I did it. And I could have probably even gone lower. What title company do I use? What all did the 0.92 include? 6% commissions, 1% transfer and closing. So it includes potential buyers' closing costs, 2%. Yeah. So and 6% commission. So if you just do this, I mean, I look at multiple different ways. So 575. If you have commissions and fees, so that would be 6% for closing costs and buyers. 6% for listing and buyer's agent commissions, and then 2% for closing. So that's where the 8% is coming in. So if you multiply 575 times 8%, that's $46,000 in commissions and fees. So that's where I got it from. Minus 46,000. There you go. That makes sense. That's where I got it from. So I never like, sometimes you can get sellers that are easier to deal with where it's just like, hey, I'd like to make you an offer at 50% of Zillow or really low. And they say, okay. And you're like, wow, that worked. Other times you have to add different skill sets, in my opinion, to negotiating, like creative financing, wholesaling, Burr. You have to do other things, and you have to be able to educate the seller on why you're offering what you're offering. In my opinion, sometimes, not all the time, you can be a machine and just make offer after offer. But I think sometimes it can be like, hey, look, this is why it's not working for me. This will work, and this is why. And that's what I train in my mastermind is I say, hey guys, if you're just wholesaling, you're done. In my opinion, you're not, I don't want to say you're done, but you're a one trick pony. You're only doing one thing. What has helped our business is we look at deals differently now. We don't look at deals as, you know, wholesale only. We when we set a lender of intent, we send a cash offer, we send a creative financing offer. We do multiple different offers because not every seller is just going to accept a low offer. When I come, you make an offer to that guy right here at 450, and then I come in and I negotiate, almost not a deal. Yes, it is a deal after I show you the numbers, but maybe you didn't know how to work it. I teach you those things so you can squeeze and get more deals. That's what Pace and all those guys, they're trying to show you is like, hey, let's squeeze more deals. And that's what I'm going to show you guys too. That's what I do. That's why I'm hopping on this call, because if this deal turns out to be a $20,000 deal or an $80,000 deal, that's a deal that probably wasn't going to happen without this skill set. Now, guys, I don't knock on wood, but worst case scenario, the market tanks, everything goes terrible, and I need to pay this guy out in August when we agree. I would say, look, dude, I can't buy your house for what we agreed on. It's not worth that anymore. But what I can do is I can continue to make the payments until the market the market goes back up, and then he could say, oh, I'm going to foreclose on you, or I'm going to you're not complying with and it can get messy. But what happens a lot of times when you agree on something with creative financing on terms, you can renegotiate it. I mean, you should go through with what you say, but you never know what can happen. So I feel safe because it's like, hey, we can talk about this. Like if something bad happens, I think he would understand, be like, hey, you don't have the money. Like, let's work on it. Maybe you can continue to make payments. Maybe. And then I would probably suggest like, hey, his mortgage is 12, that the rents in that area, probably 2,500. I probably could say, hey, I'll give you 1,500. Let me rent this thing out. And you'll be cash flowing on it. Right. You won't be able to pull out all your equity yet, but you'll at least be making money on it monthly. So a lot of things to work on, but that's what I'm here for. All right, guys. So I'm getting some good questions. One guy said, I have a seller right now, similar to situation, but it's his rental. Excited to go over terms with him tonight after watching this video. Little nervous with the paperwork, though. Not sure my title company can do the same thing as yours. I use GT Title. Call GT Title. I'm sure they'll help you, even if they're not in your state. Maybe they'll help you out. Title companies should be able to help you out if you really have a good deal. I mean, if you're in my program, I'll look at deals with you. Like that's what we provide in our program. But it takes a lot of time. I mean, I've literally been just going over a deal we've already done, and it's taken me like 45 minutes. And I appreciate everyone just watching still. Let's see. I love it. I love seeing new creative ways to structure deals because none of them are the same. Dude, every deal is exactly, again, I can't see you, but every deal is different, and there's thousands of ways to do a deal. And that's why we got Scott Levine, the machine. He just got a deal in, I think, Airbnb he's using in Michigan now, all with zero money down from a seller. And it's because, he knows and understands this. And that's like I'm stressing you is you learn these things or you're going to let deals pass you by. If you're making 100 offers and they're all low ball wholesale offers, and I come in and I can beat you every time. I mean, maybe you can beat me if you make more offers than I can, but if I'm following you on every deal, I'm going to beat you because I can talk to the sellers, I can educate them, I can make them multiple offers. So you need to learn these skill sets. So I had someone, we got saying, what's the difference between your all-in-one calling program versus the mastermind? So the all-in-one calling program is a monthly. Let me just show it to you. all-in-one calling program. So the all-in-one calling program is for people that are brand new that haven't gotten a deal, or maybe they're trying to get a deal, but they're they need some help with structure. It's $99 a month. It costs us more than that to have your dialer and pull lists for you, but we're doing this because our goal is to partner on deals with you guys. We're nice guys, but we're also just trying to get more deals. We provide you a dialer, help with talking to sellers daily. There's daily calls, skip trace lists in hot cities that you can call. So you're going to be calling, or you throw your own VA on there. Weekly deal review calls, access to the blueprint, the 6-figure blueprint that I have that shows you how to do this business. And these are the costs of a dialer. It's $150 a month. You got lists, 100, skip tracing. Just that alone is more than the program. But I will say, a lot of people have been like, oh, well, your splits are too high. Well, we're providing value to you guys. So this is like why it makes sense for us to provide this to you cheaper than what it really costs. Because if you do a $30,000 wholesale fee and we dispo the deal, once you get under contract, we'll take it the rest of the way. We'll dispo to our 1.5 million buyers. We'll pay you a commission depending on the size of the deal. This is a month-to-month program. You can leave it as anytime you want. You don't have to be in it forever, but our goal is to help you get your first deal and help you structure it. That is the all-in-one calling program. If you click on here, you can sign up. It's in the Discord. If you're a part of the Discord, all you have to do is go to find a mentor, and it's in there, or you can message me anywhere and ask me for the link, but just go to where it says find a mentor. It's right here, all-in-one calling program. Click it, and $99 a month. The difference with that versus the mastermind is higher. It's way higher level. I'm going to show you how to do the whole business from A to Z. 6-month program. I sit with you one-on-one to create a game plan on how to do the business. There's every resource that I have in my company I will give to you. Buyers lists. Well, I'm not going to give you all my buyers lists, but I will tell you how to build buyers lists. I will, give you KPI spreadsheets, teach you how to market, teach you how to dispo, teach you all the sales processes that I just showed you right here. I'm going to give you the spreadsheets. I'm going to teach you how to do creative financing, wholesaling, fix and flip. That's the difference. It's just a way more immersive 6-month program that you get to work with me weekly and my team. You even get your own exclusive Discord channel, so you can message me. You can message me Monday through Friday during work hours and ask me questions, and then you have calls with me weekly. So what's the difference? You actually get a mentor. That's the difference. You actually get someone that's going to work with you one-on-one and help you out, and you're going to get success coach. And by the way, guys, I just started this coaching program like maybe 3 months ago. I'm not like Jerry Norton or Pace or these other guys who have, they've made it. They're very successful and they're awesome. It's just I'm not there yet, so I have the time. And these other guys, they have other businesses, they got other things going on, so they don't. I'm just going to shoot you straight. They're just not going to work with you one-on-one. They don't have the capacity or the time because they're bigger, right? And I love Jerry. Jerry's the man. I love him. Shout out. But I'm not there yet. So what am I giving you? I'm giving you my time. And eventually, I'm probably not going to have like all the time that I can invest right now. But right now I can. So hop in my program. I'll teach you everything I know, and I'll help you scale your business. But I'll tell you one thing about coaching. It's not like the silver bullet. It's not going to like save your business if you don't have a business. What it does is it teaches you tips and tricks and tweaks that helps you get to the next level. But don't think I've thought this when I was new. I thought I'd pay for a coach and it would solve my problems. You still got to take action. You got to make offers. You got to market. You got to run your business. And that's what I offer and I help. So that was a long answer, but hope it answered your question. Sasha, once you sign up for the 99 all-in-one program, are there more things to buy like marketing tools, etc., or is it 99 all inclusive? Great question. So for the all-in-one calling program, what is provided is a dialer, lists, and that's it. That's all you get. You get a dialer and a list, and we tell you to make calls. And once you get leads and you don't know what to do with them, or you don't know how to talk to sellers, we tell you what to say. We'll hop on the call with the seller. We'll structure it. Anything else that you want to do, if you want to get your own lists, if you want to get more cold callers, if you want to text, if you want to do any other marketing outside of a dialer and list, it's going to cost more. We are just helping people take action because there's some people out there that can't even afford $200 a month or $100 a month. And well, hopefully they can afford $100 a month because that's my program. But some of them can't afford over $100. And a dialer on most platforms is $150. Lists are about $100 on PropStream or anything. And then you have Skip Trace and Skip Trace. Let me just break the numbers down for you guys. So you need, let's say you need 3,000 leads to cold call yourself. It's going to cost you, with my discount, 9 cents to skip trace 3,000 records. That's $270. And it's going to cost you $100 for PropStream or batch leads. I use batch leads, $370. So you're already $370 just for lists. You add that onto a dialer, you're at $520 a month, and you're not even paying for a VA to do this yet. You are just paying for the dialer and the lists and the skip tracing, and you're at $520. So my program for $99 is going to save you $100 and $420 a month. But what is the give and take? Well, I mean, I don't really see, other than you're not getting the 100% the full deal. You're getting in and taking action and getting help from someone like Scott Levine, the Machines, Sean Hayes. I'm on those calls occasionally, but I'm mainly focused on the higher level stuff. But that's why we created this, so we can get deals together. And the give and take is we pay you commission on your deal. And by the way, we even provide you with a DocuSign for you to sign with the seller virtually. So that's something you would normally have to pay for. And by the way, DocuSign's like what, $70 a month, $50 a month. Maybe there's a free one. So that, I hope that answered your question, Sasha. We're providing this so people that don't have money to even get started can get started. There's other way to get deals. You can make offers to on market, agents, which we do in my business too. There's a lot of ways. You don't need money, but if you want to get into cold calling and get serious, that's how I got my first deal. $5,000 after cold calling for 3 months. It took me 3 months. I was brand new, but that's how we did it. So you know what, man, I would love for you, Sasha, or anyone to join the all-in-one calling program because I think it would help. But it's up to you guys. I mean, it's whatever you want. But hopefully what I showed you about creative financing, how to structure deals, hopefully that was helpful. That was my goal, is to show you that you do not have to be a genius to write out the paperwork. It's literally just a purchase agreement and an addendum lining out who's taking care of the payments, for how long, what's the interest, stuff like that. Join my mastermind if you want additional help. I literally will work with you and try to give you everything I have to help you succeed. So message me, hit me up, join my YouTube channel. I'm almost to 400 subscribers. I need your help. If the 5 people that are still watching this, subscribe if you haven't. And if you have, I appreciate you. Thank you. Have a great day, guys. And I'll continue to bring out as much good content as I can. I want to help you guys succeed. Let's make some money. Have a great day.